Okay, Bismillah Rahman Rahim. So, today our today's topic we will start chapter number 1, and chapter number 1 will be it is from the computer networking, a top-down approach, 7th edition. Okay, so in today's class we are going to discuss what is internet, what is a protocol, network edge, host and access network. Okay, so we will discuss these topics in detail. So chapter number 1, it is basically, its goal is to familiarize the students with the basic terminologies that will be used throughout the book or in the computer networking. So, and we will provide more detail about those terminologies in the rest of the chapters. So, in this approach, we will take internet as an example. So, this whole chapter will provide an overview of the computer networking, the basic terminologies that will be used, and an overview of the rest of the book. Okay, so more specifically, the topics that are covered in this chapter are what is the internet, what is a protocol, what is network edge, host, access networks, physical media, network cores, performance, how to evaluate the performance, security, protocol layers, and history. So these are the topics that will be covered in this chapter. Okay, so let's start. What is the internet? Okay, so what is the internet? How to define internet? Okay, so basically internet from nuts and bolts point of view, that is physically what is internet. So this is basically internet. Okay, physically internet, it is composed of end system like mobile networks, laptop, desktop, servers, computers, desktop, laptop, etc. This is, and they are interconnected with each others through routers and links. So physically what is internet? Physically internet is composed of end systems, laptop, mobile phone, desktop, servers that are interconnected. These laptop end system are interconnected with each other through routers and links. Okay, so internet, it is composed of what? Computing devices. These computing devices are also called hosts. They are also called end systems, and its example are PC, personal computer, desktop, a server, a wireless laptop, a smartphone, etc. And these PCs, they are interconnected with each other, and these PCs are what? Through these PCs run applications, and through these applications the user access the internet. The user access the internet. The users are connected. So it means that the users, they are sitting at the PCs and they access the internet by using applications. Okay, so the first thing in the network is the computing devices, the host, the end systems, and these hosts, they are connected with each other, and so internet provides communication for these hosts, and on these host end system the end network application are running. For example, www web, Skype, Gmail server, Gmail client, etc. These applications are running on this system, and through these network applications the users access the internet. And these systems, they have certain processing power, for example mobile, laptop, phone. So the more processing power they have, the more it will be faster. Okay, so the first thing in the internet is the end systems, the hosts. And what are these? These are the systems where the applications are running. The network application like Skype, Gmail server, etc., they are running. And through these network applications, the users talk with each other. The user access the internet. Okay. So in this figure, you can see mobile phone. This is end system. Laptop end system. The car, it is end system. This traffic lights signals, they are end systems. Similarly, mobile phone, this laptop, this desktop, this laptop, these servers, they are end systems. Okay. The next thing, these computing devices, they are connected with each other through communication links. And these communication links, they can be fiber cable, fiber wire, fiber link. It can be copper wire. It can be a radio, like for example wireless links. For a wireless link, we can have base station, we can have wireless router, and this is the wired link. And it can be satellite link, wireless satellite link. Each of these media, for example here you can see that mobile phone and laptop, they are communicating with the base station using wireless link. Okay, so here this base station is connected to the router through wired link. Maybe it is a fiber optic. This car and this traffic signal, they are communicating with the base station using the wireless link. This router and this router may be connected through a copper wire. Here the rest of the routers, they are connected with each other through fiber optics. Here, okay, these are connected through wireless. Okay, and so on. So each of these link, they have transmission rate, and this transmission is called bandwidth. That how much data can be transmitted in a 1 second. Each link has its own transmission rate. Some has higher bandwidth, some has lower bandwidth. Some can support higher data rate, some can support low transmission rate. Okay, we will discuss it later on in this chapter as well. Okay, so it means that an internet is composed of end system, computing devices, and they are connected with each other through the communication links. Okay, and the third thing is the packet switches, the routers, the switches. These routers and switches, what are these? What is the working of end system? Here the application are running, the network application are running. The user access the internet. And what is the functionality of links? They connect the computing devices with each other. And what is the role of switches? They forward the data on a best path, For example, here it has only one path, but here this router has multiple paths. This path, maybe this link, so it can decide the best route. So it computes the best path and then forward and this. So its functionality is to just forward the packet. Okay, so it can be a router and it can be a switch. Okay, and the router, they have a processing power, they have number of ports, they have protocol. For example, here this router is connected to 2 links. Here this router is connected to 3 links. Here this router is connected to 1, 2, 3, 4 links. So how many ports they have and how many protocols they run, so we will discuss them later on. Okay, so what is the internet? So physically, or from nuts and bolts view, the internet is composed of end systems. They are connected end system and routers, and these routers are and end system are connected with each other through communication links. So this is physically what is internet. Okay. Now we are going to discuss more things that can be connected through the internet. For example, in this previous slide, so we discussed that the internet can be connected using PC, server, wireless laptop and smartphone, but many more devices can be connected through the internet. Many more devices can be considered as end system. For example, here the car, it is an end system. The car is communicating with the rest of is connected to the internet. This signal is connected to the internet. Okay, for example, this car is moving, so it can come to know that okay, this signal is red, or how many are blue, or it is yellow, whatsoever, and how many cars are pending here at this junction. So these are also communicating devices. Okay, so many more devices can also be considered as end system. For example, this is a IP camera. It can be considered a end system. This is the oven. It is connected to through the internet. Okay, so this can be considered as a end system. Okay, so this is the weather forecaster. Okay, it can be considered an end system. This is that IP in phones. They can be considered as the internet. This is a sensorized bit matters. It can be considered mattress. It can be considered as a end system. This is an internet connected refrigerator. It can be considered single. It is a single box watch. It can be considered as a internet end system that is connected to the internet. So many more there are instances, many more examples of end system which can be connected to the internet, where the user wants to communicate through the internet. Okay, so physically the internet, it is basically considered of network of network. For example, this is also a network. Why? Because here these desktop, laptops and server, they are connected with each other through wireless link and wired links and routers. This is also a small network. And now when this is also a small network, this is also small network, this is a small network, and this network is connected to 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 this network, and they are interconnected, so they are also called a network. So you can see that internet, it is composed of network of network. For example, this network is connected to the next network, this network is connected to next network, this network is connected to the next network, and these network are interconnected. So you can say that network is a network of internet is a network of network. Okay, so it is a interconnected of ISPs. ISPs are special network that provides connectivity. We will discuss them later on. Okay, now one thing that you will understand, that these here in the network, they are machines and they are talk to each other. Okay, so the machines, they are talking to each other. So if the humans, they are talking to each other, so they use different languages. For example, Pashto, Urdu, English for communication, and they use certain rules. For example, if two persons, they meet to each other, they say Assalamu alaikum. Some people, they say hi, how are you? Okay, so they are using the protocols, the languages. So here these machines, when they talk to each other, so they use protocols, and through these protocols they send and receive the message. And when they receive a message, so what does it mean? So the protocol defines the syntax, semantics, that when for example, when this host wants to get to know about from this car that where it is, so it has to send a message. Okay, so this message should have a syntax and semantic. So when it is received by this car, so this car should understand that what does it mean. It means that that the laptop needs my location, so it will send its location. So okay, so the protocol, these are the languages called you can't say languages, but these are used to specify for the communication between these devices, between these machines, and that for example these are used to control the sending and receiving of messages. So we have different number of protocols. We have several protocols that are used in internet. Some of them are TCP, IP, HTTP, Skype, and 802.11 it is a wireless LAN. Okay, so we will discuss this protocol later on. Okay, so till now you should understand what is internet. Internet is composed of end system, routers, and interconnected through communication links. And how these machines talk to each other? They use the protocols. Okay, so now how these internet standards become? Internet standard means that, for example, you are using TCP. So how this TCP protocol is developed and how it is used in practice. Okay, so I would like to explain it through an example. Okay, so for example, TCP is a protocol which is used for communication, and it is used for connection oriented communication. We will discuss. Let's assume that the TCP is a protocol. In the world, throughout the world, different peoples are working, are researching, are designing new functionalities in the TCP protocol. For example, there are some people in America, in Australia, in Canada, in Pakistan, and India. These people are working on different aspects of the TCP protocol, and they devise, they suggest, they propose different aspects, different functionality, different working by addressing different things. Okay, in different ways. So there are some people called IETF. So this is Internet Engineering Task Force. So among these some people who are working on the TCP, they voluntarily create a group of people and they join this group. These are volunteer peoples, and these people, what they do, they form a group that is allotted an IETF number. Okay, for example, there are 6 peoples. Okay, 6 peoples. 2 are from America, 2 are from China, and 2 are from Pakistan. And these 6 people, they study all the work of all people they are doing in the TCP. The whole world, like for example, there are different people that are worldwide that are discussing the TCP, and they have designed different protocol, different aspects, different functionality. So all those works, they are gathered together. They are gathered there, and they are streamlined. They are what? They are streamlined. That, for example, they streamlined. Okay, that the TCP protocol, how it works. So the TCP protocol, how it works. So these IETF people, they study the work of all people and they streamline them. That okay, the TCP protocol should work in step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5, up to step 10. By how? By considering the pros and cons, the advantages and disadvantages of all the people working, and then based on this draft, it is called RFC, request for comments. And this RFC, it is published worldwide. Okay, said this means that this group, they have studied the working of all people who are propose different functionality of TCP, and they streamline the working of all the people, and they develop this draft. And this draft say that if the TCP protocol has to work, so it has to work in step 1, step 2, step 3, and step 4, and also suggest all the related detail that how it should work. Okay, so this is called RFC. For example, this RFC is available for TCP. Okay, you can see it. So when this RFC is developed, so what is its advantage? So for example, the window wants to implement TCP. Okay, so the window will go to the RFC of TCP and it will implement the TCP in the way that is specified in this RFC. That is, it will follow this step 1 up to step 10 that are specified in this RFC. Similarly, the Gmail, if it wants to implement the TCP, so it will go to this RFC and it will implement the functionality that are specified in this TCP RFC. Similarly, Linux wants to implement the TCP protocol, so it will go to this RFC and it will implement the TCP protocol according to this RFC. That what are the functionality, what are the steps defined, and exactly those steps will be defined, will be implemented. Similarly, the Yahoo wants to implement the TCP, so it will go to this RFC and it will follow the instruction of this RFC to implement the TCP protocol. Okay, so this RFC is basically what this RFC means, that how the TCP protocol should work. So this RFC specify, and then whoever wants to implement the TCP, so it goes to this RFC and implement this RFC. So what is its advantage? What will be its advantage? The advantage is the interoperability. What does it mean? That the TCP implemented by vendor, it can interoperate and can work with the TCP implemented by Gmail. Why? Because the vendor and Gmail, they both have implemented the TCP as specified in this RFC by following this RFC. Okay, so it means that they can, the TCP implemented by vendor and the TCP implemented by Gmail, they can talk to each other, they can work with each other, they are interoperable. They are interoperable. They have interoperability. Similarly, the Linux. So this internet. So this is called standardization. Standard. This RFC. It is the standard implementation of the TCP protocol. Whoever wants to implement the TCP in the internet, whoever, for example, vendor, Linux, Comsets, Yahoo, whatsoever, they must have to follow this RFC. And they follow this RFC and they implement the TCP, so they can work with the TCP implemented by vendor, by Gmail and Linux. So it provides interoperability. So those protocols that have RFC, they are called open or public protocol, and there are some protocol that are not public, they are proprietary. For example, Skype. You will not find the working of Skype, how the Skype works at the application there. You will not find it. Okay, because this is owned by Skype and they don't want to share it. But the TCP, it is open source. It is known to each and everyone. It is the public protocol. Okay. So you can see that what is the internet from physically. Okay. Now what is the internet from service point of view? From service point of view, what is internet? So internet is basically a communication infrastructure that provides communication to different applications. It is a communication infrastructure that provides communication. What does it mean? That it provides communication between this mobile nodes and this laptop, this mobile nodes and this desktop. Okay, so internet is a communication infrastructure that provides communication services to application. These application can be web application, these application can be voice over IP, these application can be email application, these can be the games, these can be commerce, these can be social network, etc. Okay, so we have different application data running. Okay, so provides programming interface to application. What does it mean? That these applications that I have shown to you, RFCs. Okay, so all the protocols, they are implemented by the Linux operating. For example, this laptop, they are using Windows. So the Windows has all the standard protocol that are specified in the RFC. They are implemented by this Windows. Okay, so if you want to develop your application, so you just develop your application and you can use those protocols that are implemented by the vendor. We will discuss them in the socket programming in detail. Okay, so by So this is just the internet or the communication protocol, they are just hooks, okay, and the application developer, they can invoke those application, those protocol by calling them. Like for example, if you want to use sine function, for example sine, you want to compute sine 30-degree, so you have to invoke to call the sine function of mathematics library in C++, and it will do it. So similarly, if you want to use any protocol, for example the TCP protocol, so the TCP protocol is already implemented in the window, so you can just call them, okay, you don't need to re-implement the TCP protocol. So it provides service option, it is analogous to postal service. So the internet is a analogous to postal service. For example, for example to TCS, you provide the letter, like okay, this is the letter, you have to deliver it to the Lahore, okay. So how it is delivered, so it's up to postal service, it is up to the TCP the TCS service, okay. So similarly, the internet, it is a communication infrastructure, the mobile user is connected to the internet and it sends the data, and now it is the functionality of the internet, how the data is moved from this mobile node to this desktop, okay. So what is the protocol, we will discuss it in the next video, okay.